Welcome to WeeChats with Brilliant People, hosted by Dr. Alison Rodius, Professor of Sports Psychology at John F. Kennedy University. In each episode, Alison talks to highly successful people in music, sport, and the boardroom. She digs into the mental training techniques that they use to ride out the waves that challenge them in work and in life. So enjoy these WeeChats with Brilliant People.
Okay, so welcome back to WeeChats with Brilliant People. Today I am here with David Choi. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
I am super excited to talk to David today because David's a singer-songwriter, musician, and a YouTube phenomenon, I think, from what people tell me too. You like that title? Phenom?
I don't like anything that says, I can't digest it very well. Compliments.
But you're on the list of brilliant people.
Oh, well, I'm honored to be in the presence of you.
Oh, thank you. I did not pay him at all. And I'm super excited because tonight we are going to hear David in concert. So we're here in San Francisco. We're backstage. And I realized today, this is the first time, out of all the performers that I've been talking to, this is the first time I'm actually getting to talk to somebody right before they perform.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. For me especially.
Yeah,
but,
it is a cool thing. Yeah.
So, my focus is on what do people do to help themselves get ready for a performance. And here we are.
Yeah.
So, we're about 2 hours out from the gig itself. Mm-hmm. What's typically going through your mind at this stage, and what's going through your mind right now, 2 hours out?
Well, going back to when I first started, I used to get really nervous just thinking about the show the entire time before I start. I think I've done enough shows now where I'm able to kind of keep myself busy, at least mentally, up until I go up on stage. But at the same time, I have become more comfortable. This is the end of my tour, and I'm already 19 shows in.
Nice.
So I'm not nervous because I know the songs, but I try to. Because I'm on my 19th show, it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
I keep the same set list. And I try to not think about my show so that when I do it, it's new again. Even though I'm saying the same things and sharing the same stories, I try to make it new every time. So that is a challenge, actually.
How do you do that?
I try to zone out of anything that has to do with the performance, at least the production of it.
You mean when you're in it, you try to zone out, or leading up to it?
Leading up to it.
Okay.
I just try to forget about it so that I can live in that moment when I get there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I analyze myself and think, oh, I just said the same joke at 15 of my other shows.
Right.
And it doesn't come out genuinely. So every show. There's so many things that I could say that have to do with like my mental.
Keep going. I'd love to hear all of it.
But I think for me, it's mostly just trying to put on a good show, to have a good time, and to also just sing well. That's the number one thing for me, though, personally, is that I sing well.
Okay.
And what's frustrating to me is, you just heard me sound check.
Yeah.
The purpose of sound checking is to make sure that everything's connected, everything's working, the balances are correct. But sometimes, when people fill the room, it just doesn't sound the same. So when I'm doing my sound check, what I'm actually doing is trying to hear the room and putting myself in the room, and I think I'm making mental calculations or it's kind of like mental muscle memory.
Yeah.
Where I'm hearing the way the room reverberates and just making sure that I'm comfortable in that space. But when people fill the room, there's less echo. Right. I can't hear myself as well, and that I'm constantly fighting in my mind, like readjusting once again.
So I hear that you have a kind of really scientific way of thinking, and you like that. You like to be analytical. Is that right?
I do like it, but sometimes it's not a good thing.
Gets in the way sometimes.
It gets in the way, for sure.
So when you're trying to zone out, and I'm guessing that analytical piece is not a good thing.
It's not a good thing, which is why I had to learn how to do that.
Okay, and is there something like if you are talking to a young musician and you say, "Oh, just zone out," so how do what I'm interested in as well is how do we help other people do these things that we know how to do, and sometimes people know them intuitively and really naturally, but how can we teach other people to do it? That I'm in the job of teaching other people to do it. So how do we, is there anything you can pinpoint or anything you've learned, like this is how I do it?
I have the unhealthy way of doing it and I have the way of doing it where you just try to keep yourself busy.
Right.
So you don't have time to think.
Right.
The unhealthy way is you can guess.
Yes.
Anything, any substance. I mean, I don't do drugs, but like alcohol can help. So actually, before a lot of my shows, this is the first time I'm saying this, I do take like a shot of whiskey, and it helps me to zone, like get out of my own head.
Yeah.
It also is healthy. I'm just kidding. It's not healthy. It's it does help me get out of my head, and to me, that's the biggest battle.
I should have. You're not an athlete, and you're allowed. It's not. You don't have banned substances in music, so. And it's a shot.
It's a shot. If I do too much, there's a balance of that too.
Absolutely, I would imagine you don't want to do too much because you're not going to be.
I'm going to be drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had that happen before.
That might not be the greatest concert to go to.
It's the worst. Yeah.
Okay, so that you've got the shot. You do that. Have you ever tried anything like visualization, meditation, or anything like that?
I do try to relax.
Yeah.
I drink like warm water. I know that's not really meditating, but I just kind of try to sit by myself and just kind of just relax my body. That really helps a lot too.
So how long would you do that for before you're about to perform?
Even doing it for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes is enough for me.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be too. There's like a balance in it. I don't want to be too relaxed, too lazy. I want to have my energy up. I mean, I'm naturally introverted, so that's my natural state.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of pump myself up. Sometimes I'll do push-ups or something like that just to get the blood flowing, and it helps a lot.
So right at the very beginning, you said you got nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Has that just gradually gone over time? Have you done anything else to help you be less nervous?
As far as being in front of a crowd, that nervousness is not. I don't really get nervous in front of crowds anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of butterflies, but then it settles down really fast, a lot quicker than it used to. But what I do get nervous about is just more so my performance, and that's just me being hard on myself.
So, are you hard on yourself in the moment, or is it more afterwards you think about it a lot?
Both. Yeah.
You say you're hard on yourself. Somebody else might say that's just part of the process. That's what makes you good.
I think if I get too comfortable, I wouldn't. I think if anyone gets too comfortable in their skill set, you're done.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to improve on. I mean, so I think having that definitely drives me to try to perform better.
Yeah.
And just kind of figure things out.
What have you found the most challenging, do you think, in terms of your, getting yourself ready to perform or getting yourself for just being on tour? It can be tiring.
Mentally, I think really into the future often. So mentally, I do prepare myself for tour. I know what it's going to be like because I've done it quite a few times.
Yeah.
As far what was the other question?
Just generally, what do you do to help help yourself mentally and
I think just another thing I learned that it's really important for me is to just have good people around you.
Yeah.
You know, we're like I said, we're 19 shows in, and you know, I was with the same guys for you know, three and a half weeks.
Yeah.
In the van, you know, we're together 24/7. So having a good team around you, having, you know, cool bandmates, manager, and people around you, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Just for your mental well-being.
I mean, social support is really, really important to what your psychological well-being and also your performance. You're going to perform better when you feel it's almost like you can't have the safety and comfort of a lot of things around you, but you can have those people around you. So they're almost like your blanket.
They are,
in a way.
For sure. That's a great way to put it.
I just made it up, but
they are. People around me are my comfort blankets.
Yeah.
If I was up there alone, it'd be a whole nother mental reset that I'd have to do.
Right.
And being comfortable with myself and just like the people, even the people in front of me.
Yeah.
So I do talk to the audience a lot. It's also for me, just to make me feel comfortable, because I don't know, just instead of feeling like someone is being watched. Yeah. Or like an entertainer, because I'm not naturally an entertainer.
Because you're introvert? Is that according to you?
I don't know. I think you can be introverted and want to entertain. Okay. But for me, it's just more of a sharing experience for me when I perform. So I kind of see everyone as like a friend.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm just, you know, here's my song.
Nice.
As opposed to I'm putting on a show for you. And there are pros and cons to that. I think being able to, you know, just be a showman, entertainer is a great and amazing talent. Yeah. I just don't really have that. I feel for me, it's more like a reunion gathering of friends type of thing.
You know, when you play at a bigger venue, because, you know, we're here right at the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco, and it's a relatively small venue. So when you play at a bigger one, does that feeling for you change? You know, that comfort that, you know, I'm playing to the audience, I'm playing with everybody, as opposed to being that showman. Is it different?
It is. It is different. I remember the biggest crowd I played in front of was 6,500, and I remember looking into the audience, and it was as if I wasn't even playing for them because they looked so small and far away, and it's a great feeling just to be able to play in front of these people, but it's very different than, say, playing in front of even like 20 people. Right. You know. It's an amazing thing to just even experience, to be in front of that many people, but you do feel kind of disconnected. It kind of felt like, I don't know if you've ever been skydiving, but...
I haven't, no.
Like, when you're skydiving, you don't feel like you're on the ground. Like, you don't feel like the ground is the ground, because you're so high up. You feel like it just looks like you're looking out of an airplane. Okay. That's the way that I can describe it, and that's how I felt when I played in front of that many people. As if I was kind of skydiving, but like the people were far away.
They're a little bit disconnected.
They're disconnected. It's far enough to where you're just kind of in your zone back here.
You think that's why some performers really try to go to the front? Literally, they go to the front, they'll hold somebody's hand, or they'll...
That physical gesture and touch, I think it does bring the audience closer to you. Yeah. And it makes you feel, at least for me, it makes me feel more... like I said, human, and like I'm playing for my friend. Yeah. As opposed to just playing in front of a camera or something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I like that. Do you have, as we're wrapping up, do you have any advice for any up and coming musicians?
There's a lot of things I can say, but I would say to work really hard if you want to do this for a living.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. Not everyone. Talent is just basic in this industry. Like that's a given. That if you want to survive, you have to work hard.
Everybody's talented, so.
Yeah, there's an abundance of talent. It's more about like, how hard are you willing to work. Yeah. YouTube is a great tool to put your stuff out there. That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's how I'm able to tour. There's just so many resources online. I mean, these days you can learn anything. You can learn how to record. I learned how to record by going online back in when 56K was around. It took 5 minutes to load one page, but I really wanted to learn.
Yeah.
You can learn anything on the internet. So I think just having that drive to become better, just to learn,
to want to be, to want to be better, to learn, to keep pushing it.
Yeah.
Well, as we are right down to the last question for WeeChats today, this is the question that I've been asking everybody. So if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you try to do tomorrow?
If I knew I couldn't fail?
Yeah.
I would create a time machine that worked, that can bring me back to the present.
That can bring you back to the present.
I would only really want to go back.
Would you want to go back any further? Like way back? I don't know. It's your time machine.
I want to figure out if we're here for a reason or not. I want to go back to the Big Bang. Or before the Big Bang. Whatever it does. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. I haven't had anybody doing.
I want to talk to the president. I want to find Abraham Lincoln. I want to make sure he actually existed. Not that I do believe believe he existed, but I just want to touch him.
Hey, very real.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'd be fun to just find them and see how it really was.
See how normal they are, I think, to some extent too. Yeah, cool. All right then. Well, thank you so much for being a part of WeeChats with Brilliant People. It has been a real honor and a pleasure, and I'm so excited to hear you in concert in a little bit. Thanks so much, David.
Thanks for having me.
Tune in next time, everybody, for WeeChats with Brilliant People. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed these WeeChats. You can follow WeeChats with Brilliant People on Twitter at WeeChats and Facebook, and subscribe to the podcast series on iTunes or any Droid platform. WeeChats with Brilliant People.